But as someone maybe familiar with currency, do you see that as a good idea, to actually have treasury notes or to have something that's backed, even as competing currency, so it's not as in your face of, we're going to shut down the bank? And
right. Well, I think whoever issues the currency has great privilege in that essentially they get the interest payment. They create money out of thin air and then loan it out, and they collect the interest almost as if it were a tax. And if the government does it, it's sort of like, in some ways a benefit to everybody, because it's sort of like, in a way, taxes. The government can run its operations and whatnot. But if a private bank does it, well, it's all profit for them and their buddies. So that's not a good situation. It's more and more of our tax money that we pay just goes to, pay the interest on the debt.
Yeah, from what I understand, they say the amount of money we take in an income tax actually goes just to pay the interest. It's not even paying off the debt. It's just covering interest payments. It's a problem that's not going to be solved easily.
No, it'll take some, it'll be a big crisis, and then unfortunately, usually when the crisis happens, things get even more draconian, unfortunately.
Referring to the Amero and whatnot, I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. dollar, at the point that we're at, where it's so devalued, and where instead of pulling back on that, they seem to be kind of expediting that process. Now, I don't know if that's out of desperation, that they're just trying to keep everybody happy and keep the stock market alive, or if there actually is an effort to devalue it. Were the dollar bubble to actually crash, that would probably be a reason why they would introduce something like the Amero, is to say, okay, now we need a stronger currency.
They would take a crisis as an opportunity to step in and provide a solution.
Exactly.
Which might not be such a good solution for everybody but themselves. But
once again,
in other ways, you could think of this whole North American Union proposal. I mean, there's a lot to that. It could be, in some ways, it could be a way to gain control over Canada and Mexico. People think, we're going to lose our national sovereignty. It could be more about gaining control over Canada and Mexico. Getting the oil and the timber from Canada and the mining and the labor from Mexico, and getting control over those in a way. But I don't know.
Listen, regardless of any of that stuff, a lot of that's outside of our control. But like I said,
I know. It's like, I'm going to continue to have fun doing my minting business, and that's all I do. So, I'll make a political statement with my coins now and then, but I'm not. I guess I'm not really a big activist, except for the making a statement in small round metal discs. So I guess that's more than most people do.
Yeah, it is more than most people do, and you short sell yourself and say, that's all I'm doing. But if you kind of raise the people's awareness, I think that really does have a big value to it, because I think so much of why things are the way they are is because people either willfully ignorant or just uninformed.
I think a lot of people are just too busy to even have time to think about what is going on a lot of the time.
I saw that quote of yours, of the idea of making people aware, or just as an artist to provoke some sort of thought or emotion. In speaking to you, I know that wasn't what you originally set out to do, but that doesn't take away from it at all. Where
I start out with the project on something is it rarely ends up.
Of course, yeah.
Where it was maybe you thought of initially, it can go off and wander off in some direction and end up someplace unexpected. But that's all right. That's the way I like to do it.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about art, is it's always in a state of change, and and it has an evolution to itself. So.
Right.
No, listen, man. I appreciate your time very, very much.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to do it.
I wish you the best of luck with the business, and keep doing what you're doing.
Well, thanks, and good luck to you too.